Raise your hand if you're married. None of you are married. Raise your hand if you would like to be married to your baby's father. One. The rest of you who don't plan to get married, why don't you plan to get married? I'd like to know that.
You already have your child to think about, and then a whole family to care for. You know, it's a lot of responsibility, and then you don't want the commitments.
I wouldn't want no man holding me down because I think I can make it as a single parent.
But don't you think you might need help in raising that baby from a man?
Not really. I didn't have a father. My father wasn't in the home, so, you know, it really, male figures are not substantially important in the family.
That clip right there was from a 1986 CBS special hosted by Bill Moyer discussing the state of Black America and the vanishing Black family. In this clip right now, you're looking at a group of young Black mothers, none of them married, all of them single mothers, and all of them but one said they did not want to get married to the father of their kid. And as you can see, they did not hold back on why it was not a good idea for them to have a two-parent household. One of the young mothers, she said a whole family to care for? It's a lot of responsibility. She also said you don't want that commitment. Another one said she didn't want a man holding her down. And then the last one, she said that male figures are not substantially important in the family. Does any of this sound familiar?
I understand the woman bring life, y'all don't. So I need a man to be like,
how y'all get that life, man?
Like, what do you mean?
How you get that life?
We create.
What do you mean?
How do you get that life?
Go in the hospital and get a sperm donor. You don't need a man.
You still need a man.
You still need a man.
See, that's that mentality right there. I don't need a man. You heard her. You heard her. I don't need a man. Like,
you need a physical woman to bear a child for you.
And y'all need a physical sperm. Where does it come from?
From the hospital. I can get it from the hospital.
From a man.
From a hospital. I can look for a book and find a man.
And I can find a womb to hold it in.
And find a surrogates.
And
you need a physical man to give you sperm.
You need a physical man.
No, you.
Obviously, people say you have a baby. Are you going to get married? What is your take on that? Do you want to get married?
You know what? I'm actually not. My mom always was like, you need to stop saying that. But I feel like at my age, I don't really want to get married right now. Like, I feel like that's an even bigger commitment. I don't know. I hate to say like it's an even bigger commitment than a baby to me, but getting married just seems like so much.
I don't have no man, and guess what? I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that. I don't need no man. I'm done.
Can you believe it's 36 years later? Are things about the same or worse? Take a second to make sure you're subscribed to this channel. Click the notification bell for updates, and if you're new, include new subscriber in your comment below, and I'm going to try my best to respond to all of you.
I'm thinking about holding up father, no sex, man. You know, if a girl, you know, she get having a baby, carrying a baby, hey, that's on her. You know, I'm not going to stop my pleasures because of another woman.
What about birth control? What about condoms?
Girls don't like them things. They don't like them things. Girl tell you to take them things off. They figure that you saying that they filthy or they dirty or something.
It's been a startling change in values. 25 years ago, you would not have heard such things said so freely because they were not embraced so widely. The strong family was still the backbone of Black America, and 3 out of 4 children had both parents at home. That is true no longer. Most Black children are now growing up without their fathers. The result is a world turned upside down as children copy what they see and repeat what they learn. LaDawn said she didn't have a father in her home and doesn't think her children need one. She's not unusual. Half the Black families today are headed only by a woman. Clorinda said she could make it on her own as a single parent. She has never been married and is raising her daughter without a man's help. She's not unusual. Today, nearly 60% of all Black children are born out of wedlock.
He was saying in the late 50s, early 60s, it was very common to have 2 parents in the home. Fast forward 25 years later, in 1986, you had at least 50% of the households being led by women. And nowadays it's much worse. It's very apparent that this single parent crisis, it just didn't come out of anywhere. In 2022, women are becoming single mothers at a higher rate. majority of them still choosing the wrong men to have babies with. Just like the first guy. He was running around sounding like a Ray who didn't care how many women he got pregnant. And for whatever reason, even today, not only are women choosing to lay down with the wrong men, but they keep saying they have no control over getting up pregnant.
This is Newark, New Jersey, one of America's inner cities. Inner city is a polite name for ghetto, as in black ghetto. Those of us who don't live in the ghetto are brought here usually by television, and usually only when there are pictures to show. But we have to come here if you want to understand those fearsome statistics about the vanishing black family. Now, a lot of white families are in trouble too. Single-parent families are twice as common in America today as they were 20 years ago. But for the majority of white children, family still means a mother and a father. This is not true for most black children. For them, things are getting worse. Today, black teenagers have the highest pregnancy rate in the industrial world, and in the black inner city, practically no teenage mother gets married. That's no racist comment. What's happening goes far beyond race. Why then do so many teenage girls get pregnant and have children? Why do so many fathers abandon their families? The answers begin with the people here. They told us what happens to family when mothers or children, fathers don't count, and the street is the strongest school.
That was a very strong statement right there. This is what happens to families when mothers or children, fathers don't count, and the street is the strongest school. Now, the teen birth rate has been declining in the US since 1991, but I still believe the women of the 50s and the 60s, they seem to be a lot more mature, more practical compared to millennials and Gen Z.
It is the beginning of another school day in Newark, New Jersey. Another day of class for Clorinda Henderson. She is 17 and had hoped to graduate from high school next year, but that was before the birth of her baby.
I dreamed that having a little baby, you could just cuddle in your arm and just hug all the time. Kiss on it, smell it, because it's so sweet. I thought it'd be fun until I had her.
The reality's different?
The reality just punched me right in the eye. I had to pinch myself and see if I was here because I was like, this is too much.
Clorinda was only 15 when she got pregnant with her daughter, Shekinah. She is not unusual. Half of all black teenagers become pregnant. Clorinda has never been married. She's still living with her mother at home where she's raising her baby daughter. Clorinda goes to a special school for dropouts after she takes her daughter to a daycare center. She has 5th grade math skills and reads at a 6th grade level.
When I got pregnant, I said, well, I'm going to have this baby, and she's not going to stand in the way of my education. I'm not going to let no one stand in the way of my education. I ain't going to be like these other girls, just drop out, can't get no job, no money, have to be on welfare.
Ready. On the vocabulary. Bingo.
Clorinda learned about birth control in sex education courses, but she still became pregnant. You think it was a mistake?
Well, I'll say no.
I like how she just told the truth. It wasn't a mistake. You have so many people, both women and men, walking around talking about everything was a mistake. There's no way that we can have these high numbers by mistake, especially when the people of today consider themselves to be more educated than the previous generations.
Because I wasn't on any, birth control methods. Neither was he. And, we were sexually active. And what happened, it just happened.
When you think back to that day when you learned you were pregnant, what went through your mind?
Oh gosh, I'm gonna tell my mother. And I'm gonna tell my mother, she gonna make me get up. I was really scared, I think.
Why didn't you want to get an abortion?
Because I wanted his baby.
What did you like about him?
His legs.
His legs?
I got a thing for bow-legged boys.
Bow-legged boys?
I love them. They have some gorgeous legs. I just don't know.
Yes, you heard right. She said that she wanted to have his baby. She had a thing for guys with bow legs. 2 months after she had her baby, she got pregnant by him again, but this time she said that she couldn't handle a second child, so she got rid of it. Both of them teenagers, both of them living at home with their mothers, no father around. The teen mom, she received welfare, but the money went to her mother. And now the child they had together, she's 38 years old. The woman profiled here, she was a single mother, her mother was a single mother, and her grandmother was a single mother.
Your grandmother was a single woman with a child. Your mother, a single woman with a child. Now you. Why is that happening?
I really didn't plan on getting pregnant, but if I really had somebody to really sit down and talk to, like really express my feelings to them, I don't think none of this would have happened. And then when it did happen, my grandmother's like, I told you this, I told you this, tell me nothing.
Nobody told Darren anything either. He too lives at home with his mother.
Both of them young, both of them being honest about their situation. Neither one of them had guidance from a man, but they're in their 50s now, so hopefully they gave more direction to their bloodline so that they could break those patterns. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started below in the comments. We're living in a day and age where everything is flipped upside down. What are we to do to turn things back around? Also, this was 36 years ago, still in the very early stages of women talking about they didn't need a man. Fast forward decades later and their granddaughters, they are getting the same results. Is it possible for millennials to change, or should we focus more on the younger generation? Special thank you to Vaughn. I appreciate you, Vaughn, for all of your support for this channel, as well as the brothers Dark Power and Humble Brother. Want to see more content like this? You can support the channel too. Links to Cash App and PayPal are below. Ladies, fellas, want a balance analysis, want the truth from a woman's perspective? Then you're going to want to subscribe to this channel and don't forget to like and share.
If the parent is 17 and 18, uneducated, unmotivated, fooling around, wandering around, what's the child going to learn? Who's to teach him? When you learn something, you was taught by your parents. It was reinforced by school and your neighbors, but it was taught by your parents. Well, if the parents don't know anything, how are they going to teach the children? So it's not racism that I'm fighting right now. It's the lack of motivation. See, I'm not even talking about race. Maybe later on we'll get back to that. But I think we are destroying ourselves.